us. Yemi, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but before we come to you, Yemi, let me just quickly give an update. West Ham are 1 goal up over Hull City, and that's the only goal we've had so far this night in the English Premier League. 44 minutes played, West Ham 1, Hull City 0. Liverpool, Sunderland, after 30 minutes of football, still goalless. All right? Barcelona 3-0 up over Celta Vigo. Rayo Vallecano and Osasuna still goalless. Atletico Madrid, Granada, Sevilla, Madrid will be starting at 10. That's in the next 30 minutes. Let's come home. Yemi, let's start with the Flying Eagles. The Manu Gaba, hard-working coach. He's working so hard. He's done a lot of work. Open screening, came up with a list of 35, and then has now come up with a provisional list of 35 for the qualifiers. And interestingly, those guys that we felt were not going to be available are there, although we're told that if they are not going to be around, if we discover at the last minute that they can't make it, there are other talents waiting to take their place. Kelechi Iheanacho, Isaac Success, Sunday Alampasu, all those guys.
Musa Mohammed.
Those guys,
it's good. That's a good way to start. You always go with the familiar. It helps you because there is not much time. And of course, that's the best way to go. But you must commend Manu Gaba as a hard-working coach. And sometimes when you gather players you've worked with, you know them. When you have short time, it helps. But I know as time goes on, a lot of new faces will get into this team. Some of these guys, it will be very difficult, especially if they seal some of the deals. We hope some of them will. Some of them.
It's difficult to get them for qualifying games.
Some of them,
Even the final itself, even the African Championship itself, sometimes doesn't fall into FIFA calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's better for Manu to have a
clubs have always consistently refused to release their players.
I remember what happened to Arsenal Guavon.
That was even an Olympic team.
That's what I'm saying.
Ahmed Musa, under 20.
Similar.
It was always just
exactly.
Was traveling from Holland to South Africa.
I agree with you. There must be a plan B, but it's good to start this way.
And then this one, Tunde, under 17 champions just a couple of months ago, already screening has started for the next set of the Golden Eagles. Emmanuel Amunike, Emeka Amadi, Kabiru Baleria, newly appointed as the assistant coach, and our good friend Prince Udofia appointed as the team coordinator. Wow, what a team! Okay, started screening on
Kabiru Baleria. A lot of people might not remember, former Kano Pillar striker.
Yes,
in the past,
assistant coach as well.
Good player in the Nigerian Premier League in his days. Yeah, and I'm sure that Emmanuel Amunike still remembers the blueprints for success, and he's going to, if any wise man will stay true to that, because it has proven to be successful. And the open screening is exactly the same blueprint,
the same format that
Manu Gaba followed throughout different screenings, different open camps, picking up different players along the way. And
if it works.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, then it's the template.
If it's not broken,
the template of
fix
success.
Yeah.
You keep repeating the same thing. You have a structure in place that helps you to churn out these guys.
That's why when the MRI came more than 2 times, success was still achieved because the basis for the success was there, hard work and open screen and all of that.
And also, he also remember that there's also the NFF under 15 national team. He can still pick up plenty of players from there.
From that,
All right, let's come to continental club football now, and football competition, I beg your pardon. CAF Confederations Cup, Warri Wolves are off to Tunisia. They have a difficult job on their hands. The first leg ended goalless, but they are sure of victory. The stories around Warri Wolves, as we hinted the other day, I'm not too comfortable. Players complaining that they've been owed 4 months' salary is an abnormal for me in Warri Wolves, because we never hear such stories.
Never.
Amaju Pinnick, I'm sure, must be feeling pain somewhere now that this kind of stories are coming out.
I'm sure we'll get clarification from Amaju very soon. But this is the kind of
and for Davis Inowumi, who is the chief executive
new
officer. What's going on with Warri Wolves? Owing players, traveling with 16 players instead of 18. These are stories
it's knowing Warri Wolves, it is an abnormality. They are usually one of the most well-organized, best-prepared teams in Nigeria, whether
supported teams.
Unfortunately, this is a major distraction they did not need. They have never gone beyond the second round of any CAF competition, and this was a good chance. Yes, their opponents were particularly difficult customers, but the obstacle was not insurmountable. They have put themselves. Some say they have put themselves in a difficult spot, but I still think there's still plenty to play for. It's 50-50. We've seen Champions League finals decided
on the way goal.
On the way goal. Yeah. So there's nothing that stops them from going through on the way goal. As long as they go there and have it at the back of their mind that there's plenty to play for, and that the referee will not be swayed by the vociferous North African fans.
Play your game. Play your game.
I don't even worry, Wolves. It's difficult. The result, it could go either way. Goalless though, like I said the other time. Going to Tunisia, they don't need these distractions. That's what worries me. But with the quality that I know the side has, I hope they'll be able to do it. But it's really going to be tough.
We're not talking about Bayelsa United.
But yeah, I was going to come to it. Bayelsa United also are going to be playing this weekend. They'll be playing in Sapele. They are hosting Al Mine of Zimbabwe.
Their work is very simple.
Cut out. 2-1 from the first leg. Deficit. They need to score 1, prevent the away team from scoring. I mean, win by more than a goal margin, and they could be true.
They actually just a goal.
Yeah, but they don't, it's dangerous to just score a goal and wait.
Yeah, probably just outscore
the coach
their
of
opponents.
I've been listening to him. He's been saying that, look, there's no way they're going to lose in Nigeria. They're going to go there and maintain their first leg advantage, which means they're coming here to defend.
So let's hope that Bayelsa can break
Well,
them
I don't
down.
think they have experience on the big stage. That will count against
That will
them.
make them defend here
I don't
against
think it's
Bayelsa.
gonna work.
Anyway, we wish Warri Wolves and Bayelsa United. They are the only two teams we have left for us in continental football in Nigeria. We hope they can go as far as possible in the CAF Confederation Cup. Let's come to the league now very quickly and start off, of course, by telling you that a rescheduled game, first game at home for El Kanemi this season, ended on a winning note, and it was a game of the Warriors, the El Kanemi Warriors against the Abia Warriors, and it was the El Kanemi Warriors that won the game by 2-0. So good starts at home. They'll be playing many of their games in Kano. So that's the result for you. El Kanemi 2-0 over Abia Warriors. It was a rescheduled game. Games no longer taking place in Maiduguri. El Kanemi had to play in Kano, and of course, they got a win all the same. All right, so that's just to give you some information around it. Tomorrow we'll talk about the Friday special. That's what they call it, Friday special game of the Globe Premier League this weekend. So this interesting story as well, still around the Globe Premier League, and remember that the league management company gave a condition to clubs to bring a guarantee, performance bond guarantee of 100 million, broken into 4 quarters of 25 million every 9 weeks. Kano Pillars have shown that they are not just Nigerian champions, they are showing that they are ready to comply with all the conditions of the LMC in moving the league forward. They are leading the way. They're the first club to submit their performance bond guarantee of 25 million to the league management company. But we need to clarify something very quickly. That 25 million is not payment to the LMC.
No.
It's just a bank guarantee.
Look, these people have 25 million naira.
We can take care of our bills.
That we can take care of the players that are contracted to us, which is good. And Pillars are the only one that have met it, and the LMC said, if you do not meet it, I think this is another one that we should really get ready for. If you do not do it before week 9, match day 9, teams that default will be losing 6.6 goals.
You know, I have some fears.
About the 6.6
I have some fears.
If all the other 19 teams default,
I don't know, maybe at the end of the day, we might just have
Pillars will just win the league.
14. I don't know.
No, but
I
it's-
think
it's
it's
a
the price
serious
to
issue.
pay for sanity. It's the price to pay. And
For
I hope-
change.
For change, for a lot of things to work. And some of these things should be in place, but unfortunately it's not. And, you know, for us to enjoy the game, some other aspects of the game needs to be taken care of. And I hope the clubs will be able to, you know, to meet this. And
Tunde feels a little different, have you?
Oh, no, not at all. It's just
The
that,
punishment, 6.6 goals, looks
6
good.
months, it
From
seems,
what you have already accrued.
yeah, but when you look at it this way, when the 100 million naira was first mooted, the clubs kicked against it.
Yeah.
They now
They
reach
are
a
the ones that now say,
compromise.
okay, break it down
Break
into
it
4.
down, 25,
because
25,
we receive our money in bits as
in
well.
bits. They agreed then. So if by the 9th week they have not made provision for the first bank guarantee, then you know that there's something really, really wrong in this league.
or they
I'm just-
probably don't want it. If
well,
you haven't.
yeah, if you haven't been, if you can't come up with 25 million by the 9th week, but I'm just wondering, 6.6 goals, it's steep. I'm really wondering whether this is a punishment that can work. There should still be further negotiations, but if the clubs agreed that the money should be broken down into 4 installments, and the first one should be paid before the 9th week, then they have no reason, they have no basis.
I think
to
it's
complain.
also to strike fear into the heart of the clubs. Really, I don't think the LMC really wants to take 6, but you know, if you're a club
We'll
and
see.
you hear that,
We'll see.
you hear that, it strikes fear into your heart.
They do anything.
You don't want it to happen to you.
Clubs do anything for points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They can pay so much for points.
so
This time pay 25 million and keep your points.
They are not paying 25
They are
million.
not paying.
They are just showing
Just
that
show
they have
us.
25
Just provide the
million.
guarantee.